What is up, my peepholes? This is your guy, Kalai, and today's video is going to be a little bit different from the norm. Now, I don't usually do this, but I want to talk about some projects that I have coming up in the future because I am extremely excited about them. And even better, both of the projects are related to one of my favorite things in the world, dice. But not these dice. Now, the first project's one I've been wanting to do ever since I was a teenager, and that's make my own dice. Now, when I was a teenager, that was an undisclosed number of years ago, but I can definitely tell you nobody was on the internet talking about how to make them, and I was basically flying blind, and I didn't have access to the proper tools or materials to get the job done. Now, sadly, my original examples have been lost to time, but not too long ago, I did get a couple of really nice D20s made. And I say really nice because I wasn't using a full mold, and so this is what you end up with. That mold was made out of ugu. Some of you may know it as proto-putty, but it's basically silicone caulk with a few additives and some acrylic paint to act as a catalyst. However, as of a couple of weeks ago, I got my hands on some proper mold-making silicone, as well as a pressure pot, so this is an air bubble-free mold. And as of this morning, I pulled this air bubble-free D4 out of the mold, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a full set of them. And as for what colors I'm gonna be using in the dice, well, I've already done a whole heck of a lot of experimenting with resin additives, so things are about to get weird. Heck, I even have these itty-bitty micro meeples that might find their way inside of a dice set. And to be perfectly honest, I feel like getting experimental, so this is just the tip of the iceberg. Anyway, let me clean all of this up and talk about the other project. The other project I want to talk about has to do with my ever-popular DIY Chainmail Dice Bag video. I had a very weird idea and I thought I would share it with everyone. I kinda shrank it. For some reason, I got it into my head that I wanted to make a chainmail dice bag that was just big enough to hold a mini die set or a single standard size die, and well, this is what you end up with. Now, of course, I don't just make them in silver. I also have this enameled copper dice bag that I made to match the set that I keep inside, and this one's kind of my favorite. Now, of course, I do need to work on how I'm going to seal these shut. On this one, I have a sliding knot, and on this one, I actually drilled out a custom cast mini D20. I'm actually not a fan of this. I think it has to do with the scale versus the bag, so I need to figure out what I want to do for this, and if anybody has any ideas, feel free to leave a comment. But before I get to doing that, I do need to make more links, which will be happening shortly. And heck, I might even make a few additional links because people have been asking me how I made my ring, so consider that a secret third announcement for this video. But anyway, that pretty much covers the things that I've been obsessed with recently that will hopefully turn into interesting content. And I should probably point out that the DIY dice set video is not going to be a one-off, because I got a lot of very weird ideas for dice sets that I want to make, and I wholeheartedly expected to get to the point where I'm going to be getting a lot of "but why" comments. And all I'll have to say to those people is, because I can. Anyway, until next time, this is your guy, Kalai, signing off.